So today we are going to make some hot sauce, but not just any old hot sauce. We're going to do a lacto fermentation hot sauce. Now, we've made original hot sauce on the channel before, but the lacto fermentation is a technique from this book here. If you haven't got this book, I'd recommend getting it. It's the Noma Guide to Fermentation. Specifically, David Zilber comes up with some really good experiments and techniques. So we're going to use that as a base, and we're going to run with it with Fresno chilies. Stay tuned, let's get experimenting, and let's see how this turns out.
So if you haven't got this book, I highly recommend it. The Noma Guide to Fermentation with David Zilber, who pretty much spearheaded this. Now there's a lacto fermentation process in this, and I thought, why not do it with chilies? So I've found these really nice Fresno chilies, probably about 500-600 grams. You don't need to wash these chilies. As long as they're clean and they haven't got a wax on them, you should be good. Just gonna cut off the top, squeeze out the seeds. You can save all that trim and put it into a chili oil. And then just going to cut these in half, scrape out any extra little bits of seeds, and then just roughly chop these up. Nothing too fancy at all. Now, to do the brine, you need a vessel, either a bag or a kilner jar. I'm going to use the kilner jar. Take off the seal first. Okay, weigh your jar. Make a note of how much it weighs. Then you're going to put all the chilies inside this. Make a note of the weight, and there's two ways to do it. Either cover it in 2% of salt, or we're going to use a wet brine. Going to use a wet brine, cover your chilies with water or any kind of liquid. I'm going to use about 30% of this tart cherry juice, and the rest is going to be water. I'm going to cover that all the way to the top, drain it. Then I want to weigh out the water, and I've got about 800 mils here, so I need 3% of that weight in salt, which makes 24 grams. Look at that, I got it right first time. Oh. Okay, then take that salt, put it into your brine liquid, mix it until it is dissolved, and then pour it all over your chilies. Now we need to add a weight to submerge all this so it stays under the brine. You can use one of those kind of weights or a Ziploc bag. I've just got a bit of a backpack bag filled with water. Gonna put that in, push it down, close the lid, label it, and that is it, my friends. You can leave it for up to 2 weeks. What's going to happen is it's going to start to bubble thanks to that lactic acid bacteria, the lactobacillus. You can see it's doing its work right there. What you have to do is every day burp it to release that gas. So you can see this wispy white kind of foam at the top. That's calm yeast, absolutely fine, nothing wrong with it. If you don't like it, you can kind of scrape it off just like I did there. It's good practice to taste a piece of your chili every day just to see where the textures are, the flavor, and to see how much longer it needs to go. Add your weight back in. We're going to cover this and we're going to let this sit there again and go for about in total 2 weeks for me. As you can see, it's got that little calm yeast built up. I'm going to leave it in. Take out my weight. I'm going to drain off that liquor. Do not throw that brine away. It is absolutely amazing. We're going to use it in the final product, and it is absolutely delicious in dressings. Ooh, that tastes good. Set that aside for later. Now I want to pimp up this hot sauce. So I'm going to chop up half an onion and about 4 cloves of garlic. It does not need to be fine. We're going to blend this all up. Slice your garlic a little bit thin if you can. It will help. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, set that aside, and we need some herbs. So I'm going to put in about a tablespoon or so of thyme leaves. Just the leaves, not the stalks. And then a few sprinklings of chili to taste. Use the chili seed. Now I'm going to get a frying pan and cover the bottom generously in extra virgin olive oil. We're going to add in our garlic and onions until we hear that lovely sizzling sound. A good generous amount of salt. And then what we're going to do is slowly simmer and cook this for about 10 minutes. Until it just cooks out the rawness and you get a nice little golden brown color like that. That is absolutely perfect. Turn the heat off and let's get blending it all up. We're going to add our chilies first, and then we're going to add in total about 600 mils of this liquid, but we're going to do it in stages just to kind of see if it's not too wet and loose. Add the onions, the garlic, deglaze that pan with a bit of that brine, add that back in, and then we're going to start blending this up. Now, a Vitamix is really good. It really helps do this process. I mean, just look at the color of those Fresno chilies. I'm going to have a little taste at this point and just see how much more salt that I need to add. Now, at this stage, it's going to be quite loose. So once I've seasoned it, I'm going to add some xanthan gum after I've added a bit more of that brine liquid as well. So with my xanthan gum, I'm going to go in about a 1/4 teaspoon at a time just to kind of gauge the right kind of thickness I want. You could do this yourself as well. Blend it, add a little bit more just to kind of see if it's at the right stage for you and the right consistency. That looks pretty good. That's pouring quite nicely. I think I used about 1/2 teaspoon in total and 600 mils of the brine. Make sure you put this into a clean bottle so that it keeps quite nicely. These bottles are really good with the lid. And then we have a beautiful lacto fermented hot sauce. Label it and stick it in your fridge. Now, I think I need a better name for this hot sauce, so let me know in the comments what I should call it, because I just called it Lacto Fermo Hot Sauce. So let me know down below if you have a better name for this hot sauce. I can't wait to try it.
Beautiful color. You know, you really taste like the salinity of the brine. So you get this like absolute gorgeous, gorgeous flavor, and then everything kind of hits. So you get the spice, you get all the different flavors from the onion, the garlic, the thyme. As you can see, it's very addictive. It's almost like the kind of salinity you get when you have an oyster. It's almost similar to that vibe, that flavor profile, but obviously spicy. This would work really well on some oysters. Give this one a go, my friends. You will thank me for this. This is a cool little technique to know. Thanks to the guys at Noma and David Zilber in that book. They have done all the heavy lifting for us so that we can carry the torch and experiment. So appreciate that big time. Right. I'll catch you all on the next one. As always, like, comment, subscribe. And can't wait to put this on some dishes. Woo. Right. Cheers.